What's up with it? You watching the Bay Bomber TV? Yeah, we about to check out this video from the YouTube channel Warren Cali. And the title is The Story of How Rapper E-40 Almost Got Biggie Killed. Yeah, man, I heard something about that before, man. Back in the days, man, I definitely did heard some rowdy 40 stories. Like, man, they say 40 can get you out the way if you want to, man, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, other stories though, man, I heard people that met him and shit say he was like a cool ass down to earth dude and shit, hella humble and shit, like approachable and shit, you know what I mean? So like, he a good nigga for sure though, man, you know what I mean? Good nigga or not, when it's time to turn up, it's time to turn up, you know how it go, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I haven't checked out the video, don't know what they talking about, but let's check it out and see what they talking about. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I will detail the story of how Bay Area rapper E-40 almost got Biggie killed. In the 90s, rap beef was a common thing in many regions of rap, and the most focus and attention went to the West Coast and the East Coast division, which was a narrative crafted by the media, newspapers, and articles for several years, pitting artists against each other just off the region they came from. You had many artists going at each other just off being from a different coast, with many artists proclaiming their side was the best. Most of these artists who later began the beef never met each other or never even had contact to have real issues. But the war of words through interviews and magazines held many negative situations and made artists go at each other on records, interviews, and even got to the level of fights in some cases, death. Now E-40 is a rapper whose career began in the 80s, hailing from the hillside of Vallejo. His career would take off in the 90s during the height of the war of words between many East Coast and West Coast artists. By 1995, E-40 was already a platinum artist and a known star on the West Coast. He had been putting in work and putting quality music out for a while with his multiple solo albums that he dropped. He was also a part of the rap group The Click, which featured his siblings, Sugar T and D-Shot, and also his cousin B Legit, who were all respected Bay Area rappers on their own. Now on the other side of things, you had Biggie, also known as several other names like the notorious B.I.G. At this point, he was one of the biggest artists on the East Coast and in rap in general at the time. Biggie had a lot of controversy going on at the time, and he had a little rap beef in New York for the title of King of New York. He also had problems with ex-friend turned rival like Tupac, and his record label Bad Boy Records would begin to have problems with West Coast powerhouse record label Death Row Records. Biggie wasn't known to call rappers out by names in music, but instead, he dissed in subtle ways, mostly what is called now sneak dissing. But Biggie would do an interview, which would later come out, and in an interview, Biggie would ask to rate several rappers from the Bay, including Spice One and E-40, which he gave them both low ratings, which both E-40 and Spice One took as disrespect. Biggie would allegedly go as far as saying he wasn't a fan of E-40 and didn't like his music. He would rate E-40 music a 0, and E-40 would take this as extreme disrespect. Not to mention, E-40 had a close relationship with Tupac, who Biggie would develop a beef with, or several factors with them being once friends turned rivals. The feud between E-40 and Biggie would take a major turn. Biggie would go to Sacramento to do a concert. E-40 being one of the biggest artists in California, especially Northern California at the time, he was connected all over. He had heavy connections in Sacramento and even associated himself with the Garden Block Crips and Sac. E-40 had respect all over. So with his crew having love and Sac, one of E-40's associates from Vallejo, Luda Bruce, will also be performing on the same venue as Biggie, and the two would bump into each other, and it wouldn't go good. Luda Bruce and several others he was with would allegedly draw down on Biggie and his entourage, and question him about his comments on E-40, and ready to end Biggie's life for the disrespect of E-40. E-40 was then called and asked what should be done to Biggie. Should he be killed for his comments, or should he be given a pass and let go? E-40 received a call and held a convo with Biggie about the situation and the disrespect he had towards E-40. Which 40?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I bet shit hit different after they impressed him. Like, man, after that, I bet Big had to watch what he said. They came with the pressure for him, for real. A lot dissing in the Bay really do got limits, though, man. For real, though. Like playing with dudes from the Bay, man, it's a little different, man, for real. It was disrespectful rating E-40 and Spice One low, though, man, for real, though. Spice One flow was hella advanced at the time, you know what I mean? You know, 40 got them hits, man. He got them super classics, man, for real, especially from back in the days, man.
Would tell his guy to let Biggie go. A member of Biggie's entourage will over a decade later discuss the situation.
So, Big goes on. He's performing. All of a sudden, they start throwing coins at him. We head out, get to the back. The limousine is there, but the driver's gone. All of a sudden, you start hearing the trunks of cars opening. You know, you just hear boom, boom, boom. Like, what the hell is that? And you just hear. I turn around, I'm like, oh, it's a gang of dudes with guns. Now, the limo door was open. So I was able to put Big in there. And they just very irate. Your man said in the newspaper, he did the article about my man.
Man.
We getting ready to get him. So I said, you know what? Get that man on the phone. I think that man and Big need to talk. If they wanted to go down after that, then so be it. But I think they need to have a conversation because they haven't had a conversation to this point. They talked for maybe 5 minutes. He answered the phone back out. I was like, yeah, so what is it, man? He was like, you know what, you was right. Get the phone back to the little dude. I get a phone back. He was pissed. Man, but nah, we got him right here. So I guess your boy was just like, listen here, man, let him go. He made sure we got out of there safely.
Little Bruce, who had Biggie hemmed up.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that boy almost got checked out, man, for real, man. I know that boy heart was pounding like a motherfucker when them trunks started popping. They started hearing that click, 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 you know what I mean? For real, though. You know, that breathing got heavy, that heart started pounding hard, man. For real, though, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, man, I heard this story before, but, like, I ain't hear that part before. I ain't know they got that close to, like, taking them out. Man, that boy Big had a close call right there, man, for real.
We'll also later talk about the situation and his side of the story.
He finished his show, and we backstage at this point, and this nigga finna get in the limo. And that's when I approached him. See, I had that 50 on me, that Desert Eagle, you know what I'm saying? This shit about my peoples, niggas ain't for play out here, nigga. We for real out here, nigga. 40 tell me like this, cause 40 tell me like this. He like, Lil Bruce, I be in New York, and I be by myself, basically. So, I was like this, all right, cuz I'm gonna give this nigga this pass. And I fell in line with the whole situation. And, you know what I'm saying, Biggie Smalls rode away with his life.
E-40 and Biggie would later squash their beef and even had plans to work in music together. But Biggie would die in 1997 after he was set up and killed in California. This time, not getting a pass, or lucky enough to be let go by his eventual California killers. E-40 many years later was asked about the situation with Biggie, and he would tell his side of the story on several platforms.
There, 40.
Now explain what happened with you and Big.
Maybe done got you investigated.
These predicament. Look, check this out, man. Check this out, man. This is how everything went down with that situation. This is real spill. Back in the days, I think it was 94, around 94 or 95. Big had did an interview in a Canadian magazine. I don't know how I got, internet wasn't even booming back then, but I don't know how it got in my hands, you feel me? But it was like he was rating everybody on the scale to from 1 to 10.
Right.
And
I read that article.
You read that?
It was you and Spice 1. He gave Spice 1 a 2 and gave you a 0.
A 0, bruh. You feel me? Even if I didn't like him, I wouldn't give him a 0.
Like a 3 or something.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, 3. Give me something. What happened was my folks, just like his folks, would have been hot about the situation. It just so happened that it was a concert in Sacramento. I'm in my bed. This is like 11 or something at night. For some reason, I turned it in a little early. I wasn't in the studio. And I got a call from my folks. Man, I got this nigga, 40. I got this nigga Biggie down here. What you want me to do with this? It's hella all of my little youngsters, right? I don't know. I'm like, where y'all at? In Sac. So they called me and he put me on the phone and say, man, what's happening? What was up with that, situation? Man, they got me real drunk, man, and I just got to saying anything, man, and and what else he said? He said, man, Duke, he said, I f with Sprinkle Me Duke. I rock with Sprinkle Me Duke. You know what I mean? And I was like, ooh, I didn't trip. I was like, man, I told him, I said, put my folks on the phone. Say, let him do his thing, man. Let him go. Get him back to the hotel.
Let him go.
Yeah, just let him go.
Did they have him tied up? They was holding him at gunpoint?
Nah, I mean, yeah, they did. They would. If I would have given them the green light, they would have did something. And I wouldn't want nothing to happen to somebody just for saying somebody, on the scale from 1 to 10, it's a 0. It was an insult, but not to, to die or nothing like that.
E-40 continued to have one of the most successful careers in rap history, still being relevant to this day. With his career spanning 20 plus years, he is considered a West Coast legend and one of the greatest rappers ever. This will conclude this episode.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a fool with it, man. Thought that happened at a radio station. So yeah, I definitely got that part wrong. But yeah, I ain't get the part wrong about saying 40 get you out the way if he wants you out the way, man. He could have got Biggie out the way, man, for real though, man. But yeah, I don't think that would have been worth it, man, just for that rating and stuff. But man, that show you playing with the wrong people, man, got consequences, man, for real though. And in the Bay though, man, like that dissing really just don't like ride like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like a few people being dissing and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? We got like a little history with a little rap beef and stuff like that, but like it got real limits to that. Like right now, like man, you diss the wrong rapper in the Bay, man, you might get popped before you get like a rap response, man, for real though. Cause like sometimes, man, some dudes ain't even really like inclined to be like battle rapping and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas really just be street niggas that rap, you know what I'm saying? I think you just dissing a rap nigga, you really like dissing a street nigga, you feel me? That then represent certain streets and stuff like that. So man, they gotta represent and pit on for their neighborhoods and shit like that. So like man, yeah, that shit can get dangerous, man, for real. Dissing a rapper from certain hood shit, they can take that as you dissing the whole hood, man, you know what I mean? And, man, that was a crazy story, though, man. That boy 40 had some pressure out there, man, for real, though. You know what y'all think in the comments? Like, share, and subscribe to the Babe Bomber TV. Appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, peace. Yeah.